Sue, if you would give us the budget. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And while you're still standing, will you repeat the four-way test? Of all the things we do or say, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, and you may be seated. And then, all the Rotarians and their guests, please stand.
All right, thank you.
Hello, everyone, and I'd like to welcome. I have two guests with me today. They are new neighbors in our cul-de-sac in Boulder, and John Jonas and his wife Jody moved here from Singapore a few months ago and are immersing themselves in Boulder and hoping, and I think they're hoping to make their time here for a long time to come. And John and I are in the process of filling out a proposal form for him to join our Rotary Club, and Jody will be next in line. So we'll have a joint mission on that. Make sure to meet Jody. Just by quick background, John got involved in industries, and they lived and worked in Singapore for the last roughly 20 years. Chose Boulder as their re-entry point, originally from Boston and roots in the East Coast. And Jody's interest is particularly community service. Jody, I know you're already involved in some things even in the short time you've been here, and I've explained that Rotary would be a wonderful platform for much additional engagement. So we welcome you to the meeting today and look forward to your further involvement.
Jen?
Hi, everybody. I'd like to introduce my dear long-term friend, Carol Berkey. Carol's a graphic artist here in Boulder, and a fellow traveler. We had traveled to Vietnam together, so I welcome her, and I hope you will too.
Over here is something. Lindsay?
I'm excited today to introduce Zach. He's a student at New Vista High School, and his great-grandfather was involved in Rotary, especially with some of the student exchange efforts. So I'll let him share a little bit more about what he's up to at school.
Did you test the sound?
I go to New Vista High School. I'm interested in Rotary a lot because of the different 3 companies that I am currently helping develop in certain ways. A organic tea company that imports tea from China and Malaysia, a organic heirloom seed grown in Colorado company here developing international seed systems for places, especially in the Central Asian area right now, as well as a new social media platform to develop better community connections as well as better internet systems.
And Gary?
privilege today. We two guests to Rotary. One we met last week, Phyllis Weiss. Phyllis is the new CEO of the Colorado Longitudinal Study, which is a very exciting new 10-year initiative to get biological samples from 1 million Coloradans to, well, I'm going to let her tell you more about that, but sometime in the future. But she is being proposed as a new member. She moved here recently from Champaign-Urbana, where she was chancellor of the University of Illinois, and prior to that, interim president at the University of Washington. My other guest, John Becker, is a good friend who's has been involved in an organization called Trees, Water, People. And he's also looking at Rotary. And he's spoken to our club a couple of times. And hopefully we'll hear from him again.
We have our two inbound exchange students here today, back for the new year. And I think Chad has our outbound students over there afterwards. So here is Vicki first.
Hi, thank you for having us again. So I have to say that I'm in love with this city. Each day I love it more, and I would love to stay. It's expensive. So I can't. But thanks for hosting me.
Hi, I'm John from France. Thank you very welcome. Teaching students, it's good, but it's very expensive when you're teaching students. I play basketball for Kelvin. So if you want to come tonight, I play my study. So yeah, thank you.
He was being coached a little bit.
It's Crossroads Day here because we have comings and goings. So I'm going to introduce Daniel and then let some of our outbounders say hi and tell you where they're going.
Hi, I'm Daniel. That's my second year bowler. Been here last year, 2016, 2017, 40, and decided to come back because I loved it. And for winter break, I stayed here with my host family, Christmas and New Year's Eve. Didn't get to ski because of tore my ACL. I was playing soccer older than that. But yeah, and thank you for having me.
Hi, my name is Baxter Moffitt. I am a sophomore at Boulder High School this year. I am an outbound exchange student who will be going to Switzerland for the 2018 and 2019 year. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. I appreciate it.
I'm Sheila Marcel. I'm also a sophomore at Boulder High School. I will be going on exchange. I'm an outbound student. I'll be going on exchange to the Czech Republic or Slovakia next year, and I'm super excited, and thanks for this opportunity.
I also just wanted to introduce Sheila's mom, Marty, who also happens to be the other kindergarten teacher in my son's school. So.
Are there any other guests? Well, thank you all for coming, and we'll see you again.
Thanks so much, Sue. Thank you for all being here. While Steve and Joanna are very come forward, I would like to acknowledge those that made meeting this and possibility greeters, Doris Hermsmeyer and Brian Nichols, those at the stand-in visitors desk, Sue Lansbury, Del Rudy, Jean Lindicky. We have two of our red dappers who decided to learn how to do these things, Alessandro, Jim Unman, and I think, Michael, you were part of that today, Michael McNeil. So appreciative of all of you being involved with that aspect. The meeting management folks, we had a little bit of training going on here. John Lehman says, I would like to learn about this. So Bob Taylor, before he escapes to Arizona, gave him a good teaching, I believe. Please we'll find out, I'm sure that too. And then Fred, Wendy, and Nathan, and I think Bob again. So thanks to all of them for what they do to make the meetings smooth. Sue did give me something which is kind of not never had this happen before. But I have 5 20s, which were on the floor. Now, these have not been fingerprinted, and so going back to the four-way test is a truth, yes. If this is yours, and you happen to drop 20 on the floor, or 20 times 500 on the floor, we'll give it back to you, or if you'd rather have it as a donation. So let your conscience be your guide. Okay, Jean.
I say we all keep it up.
Right, it's mine.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to reintroduce Joanne King to you.
Motion to the mic, the mic goes to you.
Joanna grew up in Texas. Joanna grew up in Florida, but has lived in various Texas cities and most recently Dallas. She came to Boulder in the summer of 2016 to visit. And as many of us do, she fell in love with Boulder and Colorado. Joanna has been either a student, an instructor, educator, or an education consultant for her entire adult life. Education is important to her, and she believes that girls and women should pursue an education, whether as a vocational one, where they learn a marketable skill, or an academic one that provides opportunities for independence and career growth. After her first degree, BA in English from Emory University, Joanna worked in public relations for several years, ultimately decided that she wanted to work in a career to help others. She then took all of the science and math prerequisites into nursing school and received her BSN from Baylor. Joanna worked as a hospice nurse, a nursing instructor in the nursing program for a few years before deciding to start a healthcare communications company, Actorial Pursuit, where she writes, edits, develops educational projects, develops e-learning modules, testing, and so on, that are geared to healthcare students. Her clients are major healthcare medical colleges. She weren't busy enough. In 2010, she started another company, Global Academic Consultants, which helps students with the admissions process to boarding school, college, grad school, and professional programs using an online platform to assist students around the globe. Joanna has recently become a certified business etiquette consultant and is in the process of forming a business where she lives with colleges and business to teach graduating seniors and young professionals business etiquette. Joanna's been a competitive swimmer since age 4. She attempted to swim the English Channel in 2013 and was caught in a storm that resulted in her boat crew pulling her from the water 1.5 miles from France. She has undergone 2 shoulder surgeries as a result of physiological damage occurred during that swim. Unfortunately, she's no longer able to swim long distances and will not be attempting the English Channel again. Although Joanna has only been a Rotary member since February of 2017, she's already become a great asset to our club, as was noted by winning the club Quick Start Award for new members. She's also was recognized as a Paul Harris Fellow this year. In the short year and a half that she's been in Boulder, she has already enhanced several other community service organizations, including the American Association of University Women, which I'm a part and personally vouch for that, where she's program vice president. The University Women's Club, she recently took on the co-chair of programs. The Boulder chamber and 100 women who care of Boulder Valley. As you can see, Joanna is already a great asset to Boulder Valley. Please join me in congratulating her on her move to Blue Act. It's my pleasure to introduce again to you Larry Dries, and he is a living reminder to me of what happens when you just say, oh, well, why don't you come join Boulder Rotary? And here he is. Larry retired last year after 30 plus years, University of Colorado, where he was the director of the one program, assistant director for housing and dining services, did a lot of information technology. And when he was at CU, he also received the University of Colorado Service Excellence Award and was named Employee of the Year. He has a long history of service, which includes involvement with the CU alum organizations. He currently is the president of the Directors Club. He's been involved in numerous industry associations as well as with his church. And he's continuing at this point in time and giving back to coaching and mentoring others, as well as serving on a variety of nonprofit boards at CU and in the Boulder community. Larry grew up back east, came to Colorado, and somewhat like what Gene said, never left. He started with a bachelor's, and then it was a master's, and then he liked master's so much he went for a second one, and got as fully educated as he could have been. He and his wife, Margot, who is older, met at CU, been married 23 years, enjoy traveling, hiking, and skiing, cooking, volunteering, and occasional round of golf. Currently, as almost will be a terminating red badge into blue, he is actively joining the Study Abroad Scholarship Program, is co-chairing the Boulder Beer Trail, which you'll hear more about, and is interested in exploring how to help and support programs that increase children's vaccination rates in Boulder County. There's much more to say about Larry that gives you a little sense of, again, service of ourselves, and welcome now to Blue Badger. At this point, I would like to introduce Greg Gentry. Greg is a red badger who we encourage everybody to mix and mingle and sit with each other. And Greg evidently was choosing to be in a contemplative mode or mood because he was all like his most himself. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, he is here to introduce our speaker, Mr.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to let you know that Dr. Philip DiStefano has served CU Boulder for 43 years. He and his charming wife, Yvonne, have been married for 46 years, and they have 3 grown daughters and 2 granddaughters. Dr. DiStefano's career has flourished at CU as he assumed a series of academic and administrative positions, including professor, associate dean, dean, and vice chancellor, and then now his current appointment as provost and executive vice chancellor for academic affairs, which started in 2001. As a first-generation college graduate, Dr. DiStefano earned a Bachelor of Science degree from The Ohio State University, a Master of Arts degree in English education from West Virginia University, and a doctorate in humanities education from The Ohio State University. And his educational career began as a high school English teacher in Ohio. So, please welcome the Chancellor of the University of Colorado, Dr. Philip DiStefano.
Thank you, Greg, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to see so many of my old friends from Rotary. Sorry I don't get to meetings like I used to, but my travel schedule has been very difficult. I also want to recognize Phyllis Watts. Phyllis and I were provosts together She's at the University of Washington. You're at a provost here at CU Boulder, and then chancellor. She was chancellor at the University of Illinois. Champaign Urbana when I took over the chancellor's position here. So Phyllis, welcome to Boulder. We haven't had a chance to get together, and I hope we get together soon, but it's great to have you here for Boulder. I want to begin just by, thanking Rotary for really involving some CU speakers, besides the chancellor. I know that previously you had the CU Engaged students, and I think, what we wanted to show there is how we work really with the community. CU Engaged through our school education, involving students who work not only in the Boulder community, but actually around the state doing work. And then you have one of my favorite groups here, and that's Ralphie's family. And especially with Ralphie celebrating her 50th year, there's a comparison they make between Ralphie and me, because this is my 44th year on the campus. Ralphie now is 50, but I got a beat because there were like 5 Ralphies and one me. But Ralphie's been there that 50 years. And, we're just so proud of that, having the best household. Anyway, and what I'd like to do today, the topic is, kind of the, what's going on besides what you read in the newspapers about CU Boulder. And there's so much going on, and there's so much I could talk about. But I want to focus on just a couple of the areas. If you listen to Governor Hickenlooper yesterday, one of his major themes in his State of the State address was the cost of education, cost of higher education. And I think we're really hitting that more than many, many other universities, not only in the state, but across the country. And I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing as a way of keeping costs down and bringing in the best and brightest students, not only from Colorado, but from around the country and actually around the world. And I want to begin by saying, just to give you a picture, and I know we have quite a few students at CU Boulder. The traffic will get terrible on Tuesday when the students are back in the spring semester. But we actually have gone over now 33,000 students at the University of Colorado Boulder. And if you think about it, when we had our strategic plan flagship 2030, we said that by 2030, we would have 32,000 students. And we said that, and that was, what we did back in 2006. And we've already reached that number of a little bit over 33,000 students. And that includes a freshman class this year of 6,500 freshmen, which is the largest freshman class. It's the most diverse freshman class, and it's the most academically strong freshman class. And so I'm very, very proud of that. One thing, and some of you who are grads of CU, hope you will appreciate, that this past year for the fall of 2017, we had 37,000 applications for 6,500 students. So 37,000 students applied to the University of Colorado for the freshman class. And we're on track this year to hit 40,000. And so the University of Colorado, where many public universities around the country are facing actually declining enrollment, we're seeing this increase in the number of applicants. So when you have 37,000, 40,000 applicants, you know that you're going to get some of the top students, not only in the state, but across the country, internationally. So let me tell you a little bit about why, for me, I wanted to keep the top students from Colorado going to the University of Colorado. I didn't want them going out of state. And about 5 years ago, we looked at why were the best students, the top 5% of Colorado high school graduates. 78% of those students go out of state. But if you take that top level, who really are the students that we won at the flagship university. 78% of them were going out of state. And ask the question, why? You know, naturally, some of them are going to the prestigious Ivy School. They're going to Harvard and Yale and Princeton and Penn. Others are going to Stanford. But then there were quite a few other students, many, who were going to institutions very similar to ours. And the number one reason is merit scholarships, that these students were being rewarded for their academic ability, just like we reward students for their athletic ability. And so, to me, it was a no-brainer. Let's find some money. Let's find some money both privately and through reallocation for merit scholarships for the top students in Colorado. And when we started this 4.5–5 years ago, we had 300 of those top students coming to CU in the fall. This year, this past year, we're up to, I would say, roughly 2,000 of those students, actually about 1,500 of those students coming to CU Boulder. So that's the type of student that we're getting now, where we have the top students coming in, small number, about 300, this year around 1,500 coming in. What that tells me is that these are the students that graduated in 4 years, they'll be productive citizens in our state, and they'll add to the economy in this state by being these top students. And so that, to me, is one way of bringing in the top students, is by rewarding them for their academics. The other thing that we did to keep costs relatively low, this is the, I hope you read about it, but we are now guaranteeing tuition for our resident students. So if a student is coming to the University of Colorado, for example, this past fall, the tuition and mandatory fees will stay the same for 4 years. We won't raise tuition. This way, our students, and more importantly, their parents, can plan for the next 3 years, 4 years. It's also an incentive to graduate in 4 years. Because if the student doesn't graduate in 4 years, that 5th year, he or she pays the incoming cost of the new freshman coming. So for our parents, it's a great incentive. So our students come in, top students, they're guaranteed their tuition, and we lock it in, as they said, for 4 years. And I think that is something that very few public universities around the country are doing. We've done this for 10 years now for our out-of-state students, and our applications keep rising from out-of-state. Now we're doing it for in-state, and this past year we saw about a 7% increase in the number of resident students applying to the university. So that's one way of keeping our costs down and bringing in best students. The second that you might have read about, that we talked about this past October, something called the Boulder Pact, the B Boulder Pact. And what the B Boulder Pact is, number one, our students sometimes get sticker shock. If you have students with children or grandchildren that have gone to see you, the sticker shock is your quoted tuition and mandatory fees are X. And then when you get here, all of a sudden you're paying course fees and program fees. And so you might be in a class where the class might charge an extra $1. But you also might be in a class, that we have one of these classes, where you're charged $1,200 to take the class. So right away you could see where here's the one cost, and now when you get here, there's the bill. And that's about $9 million coming into the university through course fees and program fees. Because our enrollment is so strong this year, and we're growing, and we have a large number of out-of-state and international students, we absorbed that $9 million cost this year. And we said there will not be any course fees for students. and no program fees. And at first, as many of my colleagues said, wait a minute, what are the deans saying about it? Because you're taking money out of the pocket. Because if I have $9 million to spend as a chancellor, I got a lot of people on the campus who want a piece of that $9 million. The deans were unanimously in support of doing this because it's time to give back to our students who are paying roughly our in-state students. When you look at moving forward, they're paying $35,000 a year. Our out-of-state students, are up in the 50s each year. So how do we give something back to students and parents? And that's what the Deep Boulder Pact is. So the first is no program fees, no course fees. That's going to save students roughly, totally $8.5 million. Second that we said was, let's look at online textbooks. So you want to know another cost for students? Textbooks. The average cost for a student today for textbooks each semester is about $400 to $500. And it ranges, there's a range, but roughly it's about $400 to $500 a semester. Some of our faculty are experimenting with online open educational resources where they can get textbooks online at a fraction of the cost. And we put in $1 million to work with faculty to get textbooks online starting as early as fall of 2018. Again, the criticism that I heard was faculty will never allow that because they get royalties from textbooks. So they assign the faculty have been enthusiastic about keeping the costs down through the open educational. And then the last point that I'll mention about what we're doing, because I want to make sure we have time for questions, is I talked about the esteemed scholars as a way of getting the best and the brightest and staying in Colorado. We have another scholarship that I just started this past year, and it's now called the Impact Scholarship. But I call it the True Grit Scholarship. If you remember the old John Wayne movie, True Grit. And what we did is we went out and looked at low socioeconomic high schools around the state, especially in the Denver metro. And we can predict what students in these low socioeconomic schools, what they can do from the standpoint of grade point average, SAT, ACT score. And we said, okay, we're going to look at those students who overachieved, that you would think would get a 2.7 or a 2.8, but ended up with a 3.2 or 3.3 in high school. Or that we would say would get a 21 or a 22 ACT, but also got, they ended up getting a 25, 26. And we said, come to see you. We're going to give you a scholarship to attend. And these are kids coming from very low socioeconomic schools. We ended up getting about 60 of those scholarships the first year. About $4,000, $5,000 a year. Of those 60 students, 90% of them were like me. They were first generation students whose parents, grandparents, no one in their family has ever gone to college. And these are kids who thought, number one, they couldn't get into CU. And number two, if they could, they couldn't afford it. And we're tracking these kids, and their first semester, they did extremely well. They fed in nicely, they did well, and they'll be starting their second semester. So we're going to expand this program as a way of bringing in first generation underrepresented students to the university who are going to achieve very well. And that's a way that I think the university really prepares student leaders, prepares the leadership of the next generation, bringing in those top-level students that were leaving out of state, were leaving to go to out-of-state institutions, having them stay here and graduate and be productive citizens in Colorado, and getting other students, first-generation underrepresented students, who can make it at CU, who have made it at CU, to make sure that they have the opportunity. And to me, and then keep everything affordable. That's the goal. Those are kind of the strategic imperatives that I talked about. There's so much more to talk about as far as research that goes on at the university. There's so much to talk about what we do in research and scholarship, in creative work, in a college of music, theater and dance. But you know what, maybe you'll ask others to come down the university and talk about those things. But I just want to leave you with 3 words that really sum up what we're trying to do at the university. The first is lead, and that is make sure that we are preparing tomorrow's leaders in whatever we do, in whatever walk we do. The second is to innovate. How can we be the most innovative public institution in the country? And when you look at some of the work that's going on at the university in research and scholarship, creative work, and entrepreneurship, we're doing that, we're making that goal. And the third word is impact. And everything we do as a campus should impact humanity. Should impact humanity. Research, scholarship, music, our art, theater, dance, everything that we do should focus on impacting humanity. So I'll leave you with those 3 words. Lead, innovate, impact. And I'm happy to take questions on any topic. So here comes the microphone. Gordon?
Bill, thanks for coming and joining us. What is the dropout rate at CU? Students that don't finish school, and how does that compare to the national average? And what do you do to help those students?
That's a great question. So Gordon asked a question about dropout rates. And what we do is we look from freshman year to the sophomore year. And my goal, one of our goals, is right now we have a graduation rate of 70% of our students, 71% graduate within a 6-year period. It's the highest in the state, but it's not high enough for me. I think that number should be, our goal is 80% by 2020. And the way you look at it is that freshman to sophomore year. And for the longest time, we had about 84%, so 16% dropout rates. So 84% of students moving from freshman to sophomore year. And again, we said, why are they leaving? And you might think financial, and it's a financial reason. You might think it's an academic reason that they couldn't make it academically. Or you might think thirdly that they became homesick from out of state and they went back to their state to finish at another university. None of those. The number one reason that our students were leaving, they didn't feel connected. They didn't feel connected to the university. They didn't feel connected to a faculty member, to a staff member. And so we've implemented a number of programs where our faculty, the first year, our faculty from a faculty governance group became mentors. We had roughly 100 faculty who were mentoring students in the freshman class and working with our freshman students so that they felt connected. The other is putting more money into work study so students can work on campus. When students work on campus rather than off campus, they have a much higher graduation rate because they're working with staff members who care about their academics and care about that, you have a test tomorrow, take a day off today, you can make it up. Those kinds of things, and so that 84% has now gone up to about 87.5%. The magic number is 92%. If we have a 92% retention, we'll hit our 80% graduation rate. Thanks, Gordon, for the question. Good question.
On a topic related to feeling connected, could you speak to what the university is doing and how you're handling the situation related to DACA students?
With DACA students, yes. So, and we're hoping that we're going to get some resolution very quickly. What we started off with is the whole University of Colorado system, not just the Boulder campus. But President Benson and the 4 chancellors have been working with our national organizations. I've worked with the Association of American Universities. Other chancellors are working with their organizations. And we were lobbying Congress. And I will tell you that our 2 senators have been very, very positive and very receptive to finding a solution for our DACA students. We are meeting with our DACA students on a regular basis on campus, those who identify themselves as DACA students, to make sure, because there's a March, I think it's a March 1st deadline, they need to have papers filled out and so on to continue. And we're working with them. We have an office set up to do that. And they're working with students, and there is a fee, and if the student can't pay that fee, we have some private donors who are helping us with that. So it's a number 1 priority to make sure, number 1, that we keep these students here because they're great students. I can tell you stories about some of our DACA students in aerospace engineering and other areas where they are such contributors to the university. But to make sure that we always have thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us this afternoon, Chancellor. I have had 2 kids go to CU. Neither one of them made it in anything close to 4 years. My impression is that the student body is not very diverse in racial and ethnic terms, nor is it very international. And I wonder if you could confirm or deny that.
No, I will. So let me tell you, so that's a very good question. It's about the number of diverse students and international students. About 5 years ago, we had 4% international. And one of our reasons for that is we have state has a policy, 55% of the freshman class must be in-state, 45% out of state. And that 45% included, past tense, international students. And so it was very difficult because there were so many non-resident U.S. students that wanted to come here as well as international. Because the university gives us very little funding, which I didn't talk about, but it's roughly 4% of our school budget, we went to the university and asked for flexibility and to move international students out of that mix. Today, we have 10% international. So that's on the rise. As far as ethnic minority students, that is also on the rise. So right now, overall population is about 16 to 17% minority students. This year's freshman class, we had 26%. And what's been very helpful are the programs that have been established in the schools and colleges by our deans in various schools and colleges, bringing in more underrepresented minority students and working with them as a cohort so that they stay with each other. So that number is still small, but I see it as a growing trend. And I think, for example, the impact scholarships, that's a small way, but that's a way of increasing the number of underrepresented students. So I would confirm that and say it's getting better.
So an often underreported problem on campus is the tragedy of suicide at colleges and universities. And so my question concerns, first of all, what has to happen is good statistics must be kept on suicide on campus, and second, steps taken to prevent it. So I'm wondering what CU is doing in that regard.
So let me broaden that, if I may, in answer to your question. I think that the number 1 issue facing universities today across the country, mental health issues. We have seen, not only at the University of Colorado Boulder, across the country, we have seen a huge increase in the number of students at our universities who suffer from anxiety, who suffer from depression, who suffer from various addictions, whether it's alcohol addiction, drug. I actually believe that it will be an epidemic on our campuses, and it's across the board. It's not one group or another. And we just had a report on Tuesday about this. And one of the things we're doing is ramping up what we're doing in the area of mental health for our students, and making sure parents are aware of services that we have, services that we have for those who have already had addictions, whether it's drugs, alcohol, because we believe that's going to help us prevent suicides, because we, as every other university, will have 3 to 5 known suicides a year on campus. The other thing is to make it a major research initiative in working closely with our Anschutz campus in Denver to look not only at treatment of depression, anxiety, but prevention of that as well. And we've made some really strategic hires in psychology and neurosciences to work with our Anschutz campus. And I hope, I have my fingers crossed, having a major donor very soon who will commit a significant amount of dollars to start a mental health research institute on the campus. That is what I'm most concerned about with our students, is their mental health. And we see it in high schools, and now we're really seeing it at the university.
Bill, it's my honor and privilege to respond to you as the speaker today. We appreciate that as a Rotarian and given your career tenure at the university, you certainly lived the Rotary model of service above self. We appreciate your long tenure at the university. We appreciate your sharing the vision of the university going forward with us today. In your honor, as a Boulder Rotarian, you know that Rotary started the process in the late 80s, about the time you joined Rotary, to eradicate polio from the world. We're very close to doing that. And in your honor, Boulder Rotary is going to present 100 doses of polio vaccine in honor of the Rotary Foundation. Thank you for being with us today. Back again.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, Chef. Wait. I will. Come back.
Stay up there.
Come here. Sir. You probably used to getting a lot of medallions and things, and you may already have this one, but I saved this for you. It's chocolate. So, thank you, Phil. And I don't know where I was at Summit Bend, but I did get 2 medallions. Jim Williams, as the former marshal of all commencements, received that in August. I wanted to be sure he was going to be at the meeting, and so I kept hounding him, "Are you here?" So he showed up, and I said, "Okay, here's your medallion, but it's summer, and it's chocolate, and eat it fast." He told me he did. So it's winter, and you can savor it, take it home, and give it to your mom or the kids or whatever you want to do. So thank you. Just a couple of other things, and I've got my notes. It's wonderful to have the Roots members here. They are part of Boulder Rotary, but you often would see them if you were at a breakfast meeting. They usually are meeting Tuesday morning, 2nd and 4th Tuesday at the day and night, but they're closing that place down. So I think you're going to the buff, but the information about their meetings is back in the agenda and also in the RIB. So welcome to all of you. Speaking of the Directors Club, which we kind of sort of did, I have 2 tickets for this Sunday's women's basketball game against UCLA. It's 4 o'clock, if somebody would like to join us. And then I have also 2 tickets for the Stanford game against the men, CU against Stanford. That's Sunday, February 11 at 2. So if anybody would like to join me on those, I have reason to get the tickets for you, but the price is right. $0. Now, there was another thing that some of you were wondering about, and we could have had a contest on this. You'll notice that there's a little bit of a different decor today in the room. So I heard, let's see, is it for sound? Is it sound, bathroom sound? Is it a wedding? And I didn't know that anybody was planning that today here. Okay. Is it a kind of a renewal of vows or anything like that? No, I guess not. So apparently, this was from last Friday's stuff, and there is a celebration of life today, and so they left the wall hangings up, which add a whole different important atmosphere for us, but that's the outcome. So we could have had a contest and raised money on that one, but we didn't. So at this point, let's go to the announcement.
Hello, and welcome to the Boulder Rotary Club on Friday, January 12th, 2018.
Did you make your New Year's resolutions yet, Sally?
No, I haven't.
Well, here's some Rotary resolutions.
Grow my club membership.
Support the Rotary Foundation.
Bring a friend along to a meeting.
Tell more people about the great work that Rotary does.
Engage with the community.
Have some fun.
And eradicate polio.
We are this close. And this just in from a Boulder Rotary roving reporter. This emblem and this sign was spotted at Blue Star Recycling.
If you see any more Rotary International signs here or on any of your projects, send them in.
We'll post them here. Very cool. And now, moving on to committee briefs.
Conscientious.
Could you please use that in a sentence? Well, we need help with the upcoming spelling bee, and volunteers are needed on February 10th at Platt Middle School. If you're interested, please see Norris Herzmeyer.
Thank you, Kenny. Next week's regular World Community Service meeting is right here at 10:45 a.m.
And the Centennial Committee is hard at work planning Boulder Rotary's projects and happening for its big birthday, 100 years of Boulder Rotary. Well, we've had this slide up for the last 3 PowerPoints, Sally.
Go to the train.
Well, is your Gregorian calendar not filling up yet? We'll save these days.
The people is from February 26th to March 5th in Broomfield. If you'd like to help out, see the side of it.
And district conference time is just around the corner. May 19th through 20th at the Hyatt Regency Denver Tech Center is District 5450's Celebration of Rotary.
Always a great time. Rotary National Conference this year is going to be in Toronto from June 23rd to 27th.
That's in Canada, eh?
I'm really looking forward to next week's program. January 19th, District 5450's Governor, Alice Rajavi, will be joining us.
Everyone loves dinner and a show, even Jon Snow. Join us for Valentine's Day at the Boulder Dinner Theater.
For Annie.
Contact Joanna Kane for details and sign up.
Hello?
This has been the Boulder Rotary Club PowerPoint for January 12th, 2018. All together now. Have a great weekend.
Marty.
This has been the Boulder Rotary Club PowerPoint for January 12th, 2018. All together now. Have a great weekend.
I think that qualifies somebody wanting to make a dog time reservation. Thanks to the PowerPoint duo. Great job. Joanna does need to here today, and I suppose if we played our cards right, we might be able to squeeze a few more days to give the tickets that aren't spoken for back by Monday. But I think you have maybe 20 left, if that's right. So Joanne's right there, and we'll be very happy to sign you up if that's something that you would like to do. Pam did not wave at me, but I know that those journals are back there to be picked up. And is there any other announcement that we forgot or that we need to mention? I don't think so. Okay, well, guess what? You're getting 5-minute head start on the weekend because I'm paying back for what I used up another time. So have a great weekend. See you next week.